In a draft full of defensive talent, not many are as talented as one of the best defensive ends in all college football in good old Kayvon Thibodeaux.
Motion play action, hit as he throws, and the ball goes backward, picked up, Mace Funa for the Ducks inside the 5.
Out of South LA, Kayvon didn't have it easy growing up in the gang-infested South Central, but the fact that his mother Louise wanted better for him caused her to look for schools elsewhere. After searching for high schools that would challenge him the most academically in order to stay off the streets, they settled on Oaks Christian. Even though it was 80 miles away from their home in South Central, Kayvon was still able to maintain a 3.0 GPA, and after they moved a bit closer to Woodland Hills, it really helped him lock in. The important through line of all of this was his mother's desire to give him a better education and make sure to keep that as priority one. But considering that he was 6'2" as a 13-year-old, it was seemingly setting the stars for my man to do his thing on the football field no matter where he was. Even though his high school experience was quite a balancing act, Kayvon was still able to do well in both the classroom and on the football field. And so as a junior, was named the High School Football Defensive Player of the Year by USA Today with a ridiculous 18 sacks and 54 tackles as he proved that he was pretty much unstoppable. Not only did he just have an insane senior year, but his over 150 tackles, 50 sacks, and 8 forced fumbles throughout his high school career were that much more impressive. Considering how well he played year after year, it was not much of a surprise that Kayvon was not just a 5-star, but in fact the second highest rated recruit in his class. With such a status, as you could guess, schools like Florida, Alabama, and Oregon were all after him, and made the decision that much more difficult. Although there were countless opportunities to go off on the next level, his mother felt like Oregon was the best place for Kayvon to have a solid foundation, and upon that help guide him considering the fact that he was 800 miles away from home, and so as you could guess, my man Kayvon became a Duck out there in Eugene. As soon as he got to campus in January of the following year, he was already committed to talk about what his dreams and missions were past football, since a career only lasts so long. That level of maturity was unique for a freshman who'd only been there for days, and that same level of maturity showed itself on the football field. His 35 tackles, 3 pass deflections, 9 sacks, and a forced fumble in only his first year with the team were proof enough that he had the sauce. So as you could guess, following such a great first year, it wasn't much of a surprise that he was named the Pac-12 Defensive Freshman of the Year, and it seemed like the sky was the limit for his potential in Eugene. Going into his second year with the Ducks, there was quite a bit of hype surrounding the stud, with many expecting him to pop off. Well, my man showed up once again with nearly 40 tackles, 3 deflections, and 3 sacks as he was able to solidify himself as one of the best defensive players in the Pac-12. Not only was he just first team all-conference, but upon that won the Morris Trophy as he was the best defensive lineman in all of the Pac-12. Considering his rising status as one of the most talented defensive studs, going into what was likely his last year in Eugene, my man Kayvon was looking to take his game to a whole nother level. A sprained ankle in his first game was not the greatest start as he ended up missing the next 2 games, but didn't keep him from doing his thing when he got back on the football field. Even though he had a rough start to the year, Kayvon was able to put together his best performance as a Duck, with nearly 50 tackles, 7 sacks, and 2 pass deflections as he made himself known as not just one of the best defensive players in the Pac-12, but college football as a whole. As a unanimous All-American, Kayvon was able to prove that, and much more, as he quickly became one of the biggest defensive prospects in a pretty loaded draft class. After proving himself as one of the best defensive players in all of college football with the Ducks, Kayvon earned his ticket to the NFL Combine and was able to do his thing. A 4.59 40-yard dash, 27 reps on the bench press, and 1.59 10-yard split were all proof enough that he was a certified stud, as his unique athleticism that was on display in Eugene was proven on a bigger stage. But even though he showed out in the drills, there were still questions about his effort level considering his focus on business and lifestyle. Right as I'm writing this video, he just created an NFT in partnership with eBay. So if that tells you anything, he is taking this whole business thing seriously. As he would say, it basically emphasizes me as a business mogul and as a football player, moving forward into my career. Although many have questioned his commitment, I don't think the fact that he's trying to establish himself as a quote-unquote mogul will affect his play on the football field. And you gotta think, why would someone interested in developing their business acumen want to waste such a great opportunity? It just doesn't make any sense. So I take all this criticism with a massive grain of salt. Ever since he was a kid, Kayvon was able to balance numerous things at once, whether it was academics and athletics, or now business in the league, and it hasn't seemed to have kept him from becoming one of the biggest names in the draft. and so I heavily doubt it will prevent him from popping off on the next level. But anyways, back to Kayvon's on-the-field play, and he brings quite a bit to the table no matter where he ends up. His drive, speed, strength, and passion for the game make him a matchup nightmare no matter who you line up in front of him. While at Eugene, it seemed like no one was able to stop him from enforcing his will, and although the NFL is a different ballgame, with time, I think he could easily become one of the most dangerous defensive threats in the whole shebang. But anyways, what do you guys think? Is Kayvon one of the most talented defensive players in the draft? Or is he just overhyped? Kayvon Thibodeaux didn't have it easy growing up in South Central, but it helped create a monster that is not slowing down anytime soon.
Slovis pressured from behind and sacked. Kayvon Thibodeaux again.
Thanks for watching the video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment down below what stuff you want next. But anyways, see you all soon, and peace out.